Birmingham, Alabama, via WVTM 13. I cried, Birmingham woman says. Woman shot and killed by police officer should not have died. After a deadly shooting by a Birmingham police officer, a Zion City neighbor said the woman who was shot and killed should not have died. The Alabama law enforcement agency identified the woman as Vanessa Ragland. It described her as a confrontational individual when a Birmingham police officer was called to a house on Brunson Avenue just after 5 p.m. on Wednesday. Aaliyah said Ragland confronted police and the officer tried to use less lethal force to get control of the situation.
So yeah, Aaliyah is Alabama law enforcement agency.
Yeah.
For the record, yeah.
Yes. The agency said Ragland was still being combative and fought with the officer, and that's when the shots were fired. Ragland died at the hospital, and no officers were hurt during the shooting. A Facebook post from a woman who said she's Ragland's family member said Ragland was autistic. The post goes on to say Ragland was defending her mother during an argument when police tried to arrest Ragland's mother. The relative said that's when Ragland pulled the officer's taser. A neighbor who's lived on the same street where Ragland was shot and killed said she's never seen anything like this before. She believes police need more training to properly handle mental health crises and want to know why the officer didn't use mace first instead of pulling his gun. I built my health home from the ground 6 years ago. Sorry. I built my health home from the ground 6 years ago. The woman who didn't want to give WVTM 13 her name said, never had a problem, never had anything. I had a sense that all of my neighbors are nice. Everybody gets along. That one was like very shocking and it hurts. I cried. It hurts. I feel sorry for the family and my prayers go out to the family and everything. So basically an autistic woman was shot and killed by a police officer who like literally just exemplifies all the times we say like having a mental health resource officer on deck could just help. Their whole purpose is to de-escalate situations like this when there is an autistic person or someone who's someone who's like mentally handicapped or whatever in the family, and they don't have the same emotional regulatory controls that we all have. And even in those type of situations, you can have nerves of steel and still, when a cop comes and escalates the situation, you get mad. When you feel like your rights are getting violated, bro, you get mad. You fucking you like combative. Like, no, I'm not about to let you fucking step on me. So,
and you'll always hear like the cop defenders being like, well, it should have been this, you should have been that, you should have been, and it's like, again, when it comes to mental health, like having some sort, or anyone having some sort of an outburst is not a crime that would warrant the death penalty. I mean, cops are the ones. We cede power to cops. Like, that's what we have collectively chosen. I mean, not all of us, but that's what we overall have collectively chosen in our society, is to cede over some power to the police, give them guns, give them authority so that they can exercise that authority with responsibility. And to be in this situation where it was one cop in there, and, you know, they released the body cam footage right away. And every time the cops do that is because they feel that they could, like, win this sort of argument that's about to happen over the body cam footage. And the reason why they released it is because there was, like, a little scuffle happening. And so in their mind, they're like, oh, there was a scuffle. That lady deserves to die, obviously.
Only cops think. Literally, only cops think if of a physical altercation happens, there's only one solution.
Yeah.
Death.
Yeah.
That only cops think. If anybody else, no matter what if you take off the badge and now you're just a regular civilian on the street, an altercation happens, you're physically, the first thing is you're either fist fighting or you're like pushing people away. It's always usually like fist fight. It's never immediately, I gotta grab my gun. It's
and if you lose a fight, you take a L.
Yeah. Oh, cops don't know how to take. They don't.
Not at all.
They don't.
They pull out. She took his taser and he pulled, like the lady said, like he could have used mace. He could have done 1,000 things besides shoot 4 times at a woman, no less. Like we haven't even talked about that whole part of this. Like again, cop defenders want to always glaze the cops like they're these gladiators of our society and we should look up to them. It was 2 women in the room. One of them was the elderly mother, probably like in her 60s, and then this 36-year-old autistic woman, and he became so scared in the situation that he had to pull out his gun and start firing. And So yeah, like if you watch the body cam, all this sequence of events, it all happens so quickly, and it all so much of the blame, in my opinion, can be placed on cops not having any sort of instinct of de-escalation. So he knocks on the door, a lady answers. It seems like she called the cop because she immediately lets him in, and he follows her into this room. In this room, there is a lady yelling at a man, and it's chaotic, but nothing's violent or anything yet. And the lady immediately is mad that there's a cop in her house. She's like, "Get the fuck out of here! Why is he here? Who called her? We don't need you. I don't want to talk to you. Get the fuck out of my house." And so the cop immediately goes into not de-escalation mode, but escalation mode. "Ma'am, you gotta listen to me right now, ma'am!" He's yelling and screaming at her, and then he starts touching her. He starts to like try to physically put her out of the room. He's like, "I'm gonna talk to him, then I'm gonna talk to you." And again, he's in this lady's home. He starts putting his hands on her first, and then she pushes back. Next thing you know, they're in a little tussle. And again, this is an armed individual, a man with an elderly woman in this tussle. And at a certain point in that tussle, like, first of all, he isn't able to like, he has her down on the ground. And then the daughter comes in, again, autistic daughter, sees this situation. Her mother is being manhandled by a stranger. So then she gets involved. So now he's tussling with her. At a certain point, she takes his taser. Now he's screaming, "Give me the taser back, give me the taser back, give me the taser back." And then decides, I got to pull my gun out right now and kill this lady. Like, one, I would say, again, like you said, if it wasn't a cop involved in this situation, no reason why someone should have died. And just like, beyond like sending mental health professionals, just sending one cop, this guy, he seems like a fucking moron, and had no backup and seemed like a cowardly individual to be like, I got to pull out my gun and end this right away using death. This lady's going to die because I'm so scared right now.
That's the other part of it. It's like, bro, y'all glaze these cops so hard. Meanwhile, these niggas is bitches. Like, straight the fuck. Like, they're little bitches. Like, they're scary. They frantic. As soon as a situation gets escalates, their coward heart comes out and they get scared. And they're like, well, I got to survive. And they fight old women and autistic people. Like, you get no points. You get like 0 points.
Because it's like, you signed up for this. This would make sense to me if it was like just some random person in a random situation, and not a thing you literally sign up for. You signed up to do this sort of work.
Yeah, I think.
Why are you treating it like you're some like fish out of water who all of a sudden is, what do I do? What do I do? Bow, 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 bow.
Who in society? What are there people in society that you can get that are like actual, like want to do the job? I'm sure there has to be. Only I have to think this just for fucking hope. I can't think that like every single cop is just like this dumbass violent person. There has to be like I guess. Never mind. Yeah, it just blows my mind that every single time the average cop is just this like Neanderthal with a weapon, and I'm like, how do you?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's domestic incidences all the time that don't result in shit like this. Of course. This just happens way too often. I mean, it's just a fucking fact, you know? About 1,100 people are killed by the police every year. That is absolutely dwarfs every other quote-unquote modern, quote-unquote democratized Western country. You could just say that. Like, U.S. is 1,100. Next in line is Canada, and it's like 30-something. Like, this is a completely American problem, and it's just absolutely absurd. So R.I.P. to Vanessa Ragland. And this just happened this week, and so as more details come out, we'll keep talking about it.